Hi, thank you for joining me for some yoga today. Today's class we're going to focus on twists and back bends. So twists and back bends go really well together because our upper back is what rotates. It loves rotation, but to facilitate that, it also needs to be able to extend, so back bend. So if we can back bend easily, then our rotation feels much better. So that's why they go together really well. For class today, you're just going to need your block or maybe like a thick book or just something solid that you can balance on. So when we do balances, you can put your hand on something to help you and also to sit on. So if you have like a thick cushion or even a bolster at home, even better, because we're going to start sitting and it's nice to be able to sit on something. So let's start. We're going to sit on the block. But if you're happy sitting on the floor and you're comfortable sitting on the floor without a block, then you don't need one. So just starting with a breathing exercise, we're going to be doing box breathing. So we'll start by closing the eyes and just simply notice the breath. Notice it coming in cool through your nose and out through your nose a little bit warmer. And see if you can just slow those breaths down. So I don't know what kind of day you've had so far, but anything that you're carrying from what you've experienced today or the night before, just see if you can let it go with these breaths. Just know that when you're here on the mat, you're present with your breath, your body, and your mind. For the time that you practice your yoga, everything else can wait. And this is the time that you've dedicated to yourself. So all those thoughts that run in and out of your mind about your life can quieten down now, while you just concentrate on your breath. Notice where the breath goes in your body. Maybe it's more in your rib cage, maybe it's more in your belly or your chest or throat. Just follow that breath as it enters and then follow it back out. Now start to notice the pauses between each breath. So the space at the top of the inhale before you start exhaling, and the space at the bottom of the exhale before you take your next breath in. And just see if you can make these pauses a little bit longer. So we're adding just a few more seconds, maybe 2 or 3 seconds to each inhale, each pause, and each exhale. So now we're going to count the lengths of the breaths and the pauses to create a box, an imaginary box with our breath. So we're going to be inhaling for a count of 4, exhaling for, So we're now going to count the length of our breaths and our pauses. So each inhale is going to be a count of 4. We're going to pause for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, then pause at the bottom of the breath for a count of 4. So our breathing creates a box shape, an imaginary box. So I'll count with you so you can follow my count. So it's going to take an inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Pause, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Maybe you'd like to make those counts a bit longer or shorter, depending on how your breath feels today. We'll go for one more round. So after your next exhale, let your breath return back to normal. And just notice your natural breathing, letting your body take the air as it needs it. If your eyes are closed, just blink the eyes open, but keep your gaze downward so that you have a soft eyelid. And we're going to breathe in, reaching the arms all the way up overhead. Then holding the breath at the top with those arms up. And then we exhale the arms all the way back down, keeping the body void of breath as the arms come down. Good. Inhale, reaching up. Holding the breath at the top, feeling the body full of air, feeling that pressure in the body. Then exhaling it out, reaching the arms down until there's no air left, feeling the body empty of air. One more time. Inhale, reaching all the way up, sit tall through the spine. And exhaling the arms all the way back down. Let's now bring the arms up by our side with the palms facing down. We'll find a rotation here. So we'll rotate to the left first. And I want you to feel that when you're rotating to the left, the arms aren't doing it for you. So you may not get very far. You'll probably only get about 1/8 of a circle. So what's that, 45? Yeah, 45 degrees. So you don't want your right arm to be pulling forward and your left arm to be pulling back to make this rotation happen. Try to keep your arms level with your shoulders so you haven't moved your arms and you're feeling your rib cage doing this twist. Inhale, come back to center. Then exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, rotate to the left. So keep going with these rotations, being really precise with not moving your arms to do it, as I said, because I really want you to feel that the muscles in your waist, so your obliques, they're muscles that run either side of your waistline, they are what are rotating you, okay? See if you can squeeze out all the air on your exhale so you could get a little bit further as you breathe out in that twist. Good. Okay, so next time you rotate to the left, you're going to stay there and then place your right hand on your left knee, your left hand behind you, and we'll use the arms to create an even deeper twist here. So turn your head to look behind you as far as you can. And as you inhale, lengthen the spine. As you exhale, deepen the twist. On your next inhale, release the arms, bring them back out wide and come back to center. And then exhale, rotate to the right. And then left hand goes onto the right knee, right hand goes behind you. Use your arms to create that deeper twist, but don't lose that activation of your midsection. So you're still working those muscles through your waist to help this rotation happen. Turn your head as far back as you can, just challenging the range of movement through your neck. Inhaling to reach tall, exhale to perhaps deepen the twist if that feels good. And then on your next inhale, bringing the arms back up, returning to center, and then releasing the arms down on your exhale. We'll take the block out from underneath us if you're sitting on one now, and come into all fours. We'll take a few rounds of cat-cow here. So inhale, lift the tailbone, look up and forward, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Then exhale, tuck the tailbone round through the spine, looking down towards your thighs. Inhale, squeeze shoulder blades together, arching the back. Then exhale, rounding through the spine. Good, keep going here and just follow your own breath and do what feels good. So maybe if you want to stay a few breaths longer in a certain position, so maybe if you want to stay in the rounding for a few breaths just to really get that nice stretch through the spine, maybe a little wiggle side to side. You know, this is your practice, so you have to tap into what feels good in your body and just move a little more intuitively here. Just find what your body needs, where it needs to open, where it needs to strengthen and activate. Good, and deepen your breath as you go. So really connecting to that breath here. And then find yourself back in the middle, so in what feels like it's halfway between the cat and the cow. And we're going to come into some tail wags. So those hips are going to go to the right, but keeping your spine straight other than a side bend. And then just turn your head to the right. So your forehead is in line or parallel with the mat, but you're just turning your head or tilting your head to the right. So you might feel a little stretch through the left side of the neck or the left shoulder. So if you were to be on a bird's eye view, you would see a bit of a C shape happen through your spine. Inhale, come back to center. Then exhale, make that C shape the other way. So the hips go to the left, the head tilts to the left. Keep forehead parallel with the mat. Feel that stretch through the right side of the neck. Feel the squeeze through the left side body. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. One more each way. Inhale. Good. Then coming back to center, let's tuck the toes and send our hips back to downward dog, pedaling through the heels, finding space in the back of the legs, releasing the head, fingers spread nice and wide. Find that stretch through the back of the legs here. Lengthen the hips away from the shoulders away from the wrists. Taking some deep breaths. First downward dog of the session, perhaps of the day for you. So just notice how it feels. Every downward dog we do is different, and you can approach it with curiosity, with a fresh perspective, with interest in how it feels in your body. Take one more deep inhale. Then as you exhale, start to walk your feet forward to the front of the mat, coming into a forward fold, holding onto opposite elbows and just rocking side to side with a little sway here. Sway the upper body, sway the hips. And then releasing the hands down. Maybe a little pedal through the legs. Feel the back of the legs open up, the hamstrings lengthen. Release the crown of the head. Just feel gravity weighing down on your spine to help decompress it here. So it should feel really nice and opening for your back body and the length of the spine. Taking an inhale. Exhale, roll all the way up to standing, one vertebrae at a time, finishing with a shoulder roll back. and down. Let's come into a few sun salutations now. So we'll take a nice deep inhale, reach the arms up overhead, stretching through the front body. And then exhale, hinging at the hips, come all the way down to your forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway, flattening the back. And then on your exhale, just walk or step back into your plank position. Knees can be up or down here. Take an inhale in your plank, and then exhale, knees down, bending the elbows, lowering yourself down to the floor. From here, we're going to release the floor with the hands. Bring the hands back down by your sides. Inhale, lift your upper body up into locust, so reaching the fingers back toward the feet. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, lifting the upper body, and exhale. Let's add the feet now. So inhale, lifting the legs as well as the upper body up into locust. Exhale, come down. This one we're going to hold. Inhale, lift, point the toes, reach the fingers, squeeze through the back of the legs and your bum. Taking deep breaths here, but not losing the integrity of the strength in the back bend. Draw those shoulders back and down. Good, one more inhale. Exhale, replace the hands back down on the mat underneath your shoulders. Inhale, push up to your cobra. Then exhale, let's come back to child's pose. So sending the hips all the way back to the heels, reaching the arms forward, rocking the hips side to side, breathing into the back body. And then bringing your shoulders forward over the hands, tucking the toes, and bring yourself back to your downward dog. Take a deep inhale in downward dog. And then as you exhale, step or walk forward to the front of your mat. Inhaling into half lift. Then exhale, forward fold even deeper. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. Then exhale, hands down to heart center. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, step back to your plank position. And now coming back into your downward dog. Take a nice deep breath in downward dog. And exhale, press the heels even deeper into the floor or towards the floor. Good. Inhale, reach the right leg up toward the ceiling. Then exhale, bring yourself forwards to plank and cross that right leg over, or the right knee over towards your left elbow. So you feel a little rotation in your upper body. Inhale, reach that right leg back up toward the ceiling. Exhale, bring that right knee through across to the left elbow. Inhale, coming back up, reach that right leg. Exhale, draw that right knee across, pull the belly in. Good, two more. Inhale. Exhale. Good, on this next one, you're going to step your right foot all the way forward between the hands, then step the left foot forward as well to end up in forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Then exhale, hands down to heart center. Now for our next salutation, when we step back to plank on an exhale, we're going to hold our breath. So hold on one whole exhale, we step back to plank and lower down to the floor in one exhale. So it may feel like there's a little bit of breath holding there, which is absolutely fine. But in one exhale, we step back, lower down to the ground. Okay, so be ready for that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And then in one exhale, step back into your plank and lower yourself down to the floor. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga if you're ready. Inhale, we're going to come into cobra. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way back down to the floor. Release the arms down by your sides and interlace the fingers behind your back. We're going to come into our locusts again. So inhale, reach the arms back, lift the legs. And exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come back down. This time holding an inhale, lift. Reach those arms as far back as you can, squeezing the shoulders, lifting those legs, squeezing the back of the legs and the bum, pointing the toes, looking forward. One more inhale here. Exhale, releasing down, bringing the hands down underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come up to cobra or perhaps lift the knees into upward dog. Then exhale back to downward dog. Deep breath in downward dog. Exhale, find more depth in the pose. Inhale, lift that left leg up to the ceiling. Exhale, bring the left knee across to the right elbow. Inhale, reaching that left leg up. Exhale, rotate through the body, cross that knee over to the right elbow. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, pull the belly in, draw it across. 2 more, inhale. And exhale. Good, inhale. Then pull that knee in and place that left foot in between the hands. Bring the right foot forward to join it. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing. Arms reach up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll just do one more sun salutation. That's completely normal, just so that you can feel the flow of it. So we've prepared the body with all those little extra activations, and now we're going to feel what that sun salutation is like, keeping that integrity of the strength of our body. So inhale, reaching the arms all the way up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, coming up halfway. In one exhale, step back to your plank position, lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, squeeze the back of your body into cobra or upward dog. Then exhale, coming back to downward dog. Take an inhale in downward dog. And then exhale, walk or step, pull the belly in to get to the front of the mat. Inhale, coming up halfway. Exhale, coming down into that forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead, maybe taking a nice back bend here. And then exhale, the hands down to heart center. Okay, let's come into a little balance now. We'll do tree. And the tree we'll do with the left leg first. So standing on that right leg, we're going to bring that left leg up into the inner thigh, perhaps, or maybe just the calf or the ankle. Okay, it's up to you. So hold our tree. If your foot is on your inner thigh, press your inner thigh strongly into your foot to help keep a little bit of compression between foot and leg to keep it there. And then we're going to reach the arms out wide with the palms facing down. Then rotate the body like we did at the beginning of class to the right without using the arms. Okay, so we're using the midsection. And we have to try and keep our balance within this rotation. So keep your left leg and left hip pulled back. Now with control, we're going to take that left leg back into a lunge. So step all the way back, maintaining that rotation through the body. So we're still looking right, we're still turned right, but we're now in a lunge. On an inhale, reach the right arm or the right hand back to the back of the left thigh, and the left hand reaches up toward the ceiling. So we're taking a little rotated back bend here, and you have to work through your legs to maintain this balance. If you can really balance, you can look up towards the ceiling. Good, one more inhale. And then exhale, bring that left hand down to the inside of the right foot into your simple twist. So we're going to look up toward the right hand and we're rotated in toward that right leg. Good, trying to find a flow with this now. We inhale, find our balance, reach the right hand back to the left thigh, reaching the left arm up. Then exhale, coming down into your simple twist. If it's easier, have your block there and bring your hand to your block for simple twist. Good, inhale, coming all the way back up, finding that revolved rotation, back bend. And then exhale, simple twist, left hand comes back down. Good, inhale. So we're staying rotated, our upper body doesn't move the whole time that we flow forward and back. So we move the body forward and back from the hips. It's a big balance challenge, but our rotation stays the same the whole time. So our chest is always facing in the same direction. Next time your left hand is down, we're going to place the left knee down on the floor and bring ourselves into a side plank. So extend that right leg long, so right foot, left knee, left hand are all in a line. And you can either stay here or you can come into your half plank, okay? Wherever you are, knee down or knee up, we'll take a thread the needle. So take an inhale here. Exhale, bring that right arm through underneath the left arm to rotate through the torso. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, rotate through. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, rotate. Last one, inhale. Exhale, rotate. Good, then place the right hand down on the floor to come into plank. Take an inhale in plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. Inhale, up to cobra or up dog. Then exhale, back into your downward dog. Inhale the right leg up toward the ceiling. And then exhale, draw the knee in as much as you can towards your face and just do a little toe tap with your toes as far forward to your hands as you can. Then inhale, reach that right leg back and up again. Then exhale, pull that leg in, toe tap. Inhale, reaching it up. Exhale, draw navel to spine, push the floor away, toe tap. Good. Last one, inhale. Good. Toe tap, and then pull that right leg forward even more to place between your hands, and we'll come into our warrior two. So turning that back foot so that it's parallel with the short side of the mat, and being in our warrior two here. I'll just change direction so you can see the front of me. From warrior two, we're going to take the right elbow down onto the right elbow down onto the right thigh, reaching the left arm up overhead. And see if you can open your chest to the ceiling. Taking my words this morning. Taking big breaths into the rib cage. And then you can now come a little deeper into your extended side angle. So if you want to use a block here, you can take your block, place your hand on your block, maybe change the level of your block. That's appropriate, but make sure that you feel like you've got a good press into whatever your hand is on. Try not to be reaching for it. Try to be able to push into it and lift away from it to create space through your body. Good, nice deep breath here. Good, now if you don't have your block, try and find it now because you're going to need it. Or maybe not, you may not need it. We're going to come into half moon. So take your block onto the highest level. Try to get it as far away from your foot as possible and a little bit over to the right, so it's a little bit further away to the right. Step the left foot in slightly and then lift that left leg up so that your left hip is stacked on top of your right hip, so you're opening your hips to the left and reach the left arm up. Good, so this is your half moon. If you didn't use the block, you'll be having your fingertips on the floor. If you want a bit more of a challenge, you can place your hand on the floor here as well. Good, keep opening your body to the left, maybe change the gaze so you're looking to the left as well. One more deep breath in, and then letting your left side of the body come down to the floor so that you end up in your forward fold position. Take a nice deep forward fold here, maybe holding on to the back of the ankles, elbows wide, releasing the crown of the head. Deep breaths. Good. On your next inhale, coming up halfway to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up overhead. And exhale, hands to heart center. Then we'll come into tree on the other side now. So it's the right leg that's going to be lifted. So bring that right foot to ankle, calf, inner thigh, wherever you can get it. Good, and squeezing your standing leg into your foot, fixing your gaze on something to help with your balance. And then bringing the arms wide, palms facing down. Good, start to rotate your body without using your arms. Use your midsection muscles around your waist. Ooh, my balance is off today. I'm quite dehydrated. I need to drink more water, so that's why. Good, okay, so maintaining this rotation through your torso, we're going to step that right foot back into your lunge. Finding your balance here, so you're still rotated to the left, and then bring the left hand to the back of your right thigh, right arm reaches up toward the ceiling, taking that little back bend within this rotation. Take an inhale, then exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor or to the block into your simple twist, and that left arm is up toward the ceiling. Inhale, come back into your reversed rotation. And then exhale, bring the right hand down to the floor. This is a little easier if your feet are a bit wider in lunge, so as in not longer apart, but width distance. So you've got more space between the feet. Like if you were to draw a track from between the, I'm not explaining this very well at all. So if you're drawing a track through the back of each heel, that track is wider. So you have your feet further apart widthways. Hopefully that makes some sense to you. See, as I'm trying to balance, this is hard for me too, trying to balance as I'm moving here and talk about imaginary tracks on the floor. Good, okay, so the next time your right hand is down, we'll bring that right knee down and turn into our side plank. So again, I'm just going to change direction so that you can see me. Good, so we're in our side plank here. And then if you want to, you're going to pick your bottom knee up to come into your full side plank. Take an inhale with that that left arm up. Then exhale, dive it through underneath your right arm. Inhale, reaching the arm up. And exhale, dive it through. Inhale. Exhale, feel that side body activating and working to get that rotation. Good, inhale. And exhale. Good, this last one will end up with that left hand on the ground. So exhale, pull that arm through and then transition that into your high plank. Inhale in high plank. Exhale, take your vinyasa. And then ending up in downward dog. Inhale the left leg up towards the ceiling. Exhale, draw the knee in as close to your face as possible. Do a little toe tap between the feet as far as you can get. Inhale, bring that leg up. Exhale, scoop through the belly, toe tap. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, scoop and tap. Inhale, up. Exhale, tap. Good, this next one we're going to tap and bring that foot all the way through. So exhale, tap, then pull it through. Good. Into warrior two. So pivoting through that back foot. Arms come wide. Good. Finding that standing position. Bring that left elbow to the left thigh. Reach the right arm overhead. Finding extended side angle. Open the chest toward the ceiling. If you need more help opening the chest, just take your hand on your chest and pull your chest open. It's a nice little reference point that you can use. Good, let's take it even deeper in this extended side angle. So maybe you reach for a block. Maybe you just bend deeper into the knee. You can get to the floor, but try to make sure that you've got a good purchase on whatever your left hand is on. Good. Keep that rotation up toward the ceiling so you're really opening that top side of the body. Glue the outside edge of your right foot down to the floor. Okay, coming into our half moon now. So grab your block, or maybe just with your hand, bring your block as far forward as you can to the left, so to the left of your foot. Step that right foot as a little bit closer to the left foot, and then start to lift that right leg up into the air. Good, so we're stacking that right hip on top of the left hip. That right arm is up toward the ceiling. Maybe your hand is on a block, maybe it's on the floor. Maybe you change your gaze so that you start looking in the direction that your hips are facing. Good, and then when you're ready, you're just going to close the right side of your body down toward the floor to come into your forward fold. Good, finding that length through the back of the legs, releasing the head, taking some deep breaths. Good, on your next inhale, coming up halfway, flattening the back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Then exhale, hands to heart center. So now we're going to work our way into revolved half moon, which is quite a difficult pose, but we're ready for it. We've been preparing, okay? So bringing you into it here through chair. We're going to bend the knees and then reach the arms out wide, palms facing down. So we're going to rotate to the right, once again using those waist muscles, not the arms. Try to keep that left knee pulled back as much as possible. Bring the hands to prayer, and then you're going to try and hook that left elbow on the outside of your right knee. If that doesn't work, just place the left hand on the outside of the right knee and bring the right hand to the hip. That's also fine. Just finding a reference point to twist into. That's the more important thing here, rather than the depth of where you can get. Lengthen through the spine on your inhale. Exhale, see if you can deepen into the pose. Good. So maintain this twist, this rotation, but grab your block, have it on its highest setting. Start to shift your weight into the block slightly and lift the right arm up, and then start to lift that left leg up into the air. So this is your reversed half moon or revolved half moon. If the right arm up is a bit much, place the right hand to your right hip and just work on opening the shoulder. Good, keep working through your center to lift yourself away from the block rather than dumping down into it. So it's almost like your hand presses into the block to help your center lift away from it. Good, one more breath. And then releasing down into your forward fold. And then we'll go the other way. So sweeping yourselves up into chair, reaching the arms wide. Good. Now we're going to rotate to the left this time. Not using the arms, using our midsection. Bring the hands to prayer and hook the right elbow onto the outside of that left leg. Or maybe just that right hand on the outside of that left leg, and then left hand comes to the hip. Good, so feeling this rotation. Keep lengthening through the spine. Keep drawing that right knee and right hip back. Maintain this rotation as you reach for your block with your right hand. Start to pick up your right leg behind you, and we'll come into that half moon. Easier if the block is further over to the right, so you have a wider base to balance on. Good, again, that left hand can always come to left hip if keeping it up is too much. Good, really working through that standing leg, lifting away through your center. Deep breaths. Lots of focus. One more breath here. Good, and then releasing back down into your forward fold.
Good, shaking out the head. Let's walk ourselves all the way back into your downward dog. Stretch out through the back of those legs. Fuel your body or refuel your body with that nice juicy breath, nice and deep, all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. And then we're going to bring the knees down and come into child's pose. You can let your arms rest down beside you, placing your forehead on the ground here. Just taking some deep breaths, finding some rest. Breathing into the back of your body. Now let's come back into downward dog to set up for pigeon. So bring the right leg up into the air. And actually let's do something a little fancy before we come into pigeon. Let's bend the knee and open the hip. So we're reaching that right foot back behind us and trying to keep the shoulders square. So we're opening the hip here. This might be enough. If you want a little bit more, keep going. And then let that right hand come off the floor and right hand off the floor. And then find the floor with your right foot and come into wild thing. So you're pressing the floor away through your feet and hand and lifting into a back bend here, opening through the hips. Letting that right arm just reach backwards, taking deep breaths. Good, on your next exhale, return back to downward dog the same way that you came. And then bring that right foot through into pigeon. So bringing the right foot to the back of the left wrist, the right knee lands behind the right wrist, walk that left leg back, and then bring yourself down into a nice restful pigeon. Your elbows can be on your block here, or you can rest your forehead on the block. It's always nice to use props that support the body in these poses. So when we're trying to release through the muscles, the more that we can support ourselves, the more that we can let go. Sometimes props are seen as cheating or like something that you use when you can't do it, and that's completely untrue. They are there to assist the body in releasing or supporting the body to strengthen. They're just so useful, so never ever feel like you're less for using a prop in anything. A couple more deep breaths here. If you have more time, feel free to pause the video and stay here for a little bit longer. Otherwise, you're going to come back up into your downward dog. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So we'll inhale, lift the left leg up into the air, bend the knee and open the hip. Good, keeping the shoulders square, but feeling that hip open. And then if you can, start to find the floor with that left foot behind you, taking the left hand off the ground and coming into your wild thing. So press the floor away through your feet and your hand to lift up through your body. Release the head. And then on your next exhale, return the way that you came. And then we're going to bring that left foot all the way through into pigeon. So left foot lands behind the right wrist, left knee lands behind the left wrist, and then walking that right leg back, making sure that the top of the right knee is on the floor, and then find your rest in pigeon. So you can use the block, use your elbows. And just feel that stretch come through the left hip. Slowing down the breath. And once again, if you want to stay here for longer, then you can just pause the video and spend as much time as you want here. But otherwise, just a couple more breaths. See if there's anywhere else that you can release in the hip here. Good, and then we'll make our way into child's pose. So bring that left knee back next to the right knee, sit the hips back on the heels. Rock the hip side to side. Good, and then rounding out our practice now with a nice back bend, a nice deep back bend. So have your block with you. We're going to come onto our back. Knees bent, feet hip distance apart or perhaps wider. Sometimes your lower back feels a little more comfortable in this back bend if your feet are wider. So feel free to change it. There's no real strict rules here. We're going to come into a bridge position. So if you feel like doing something a little more restful, just pick your hips up and place your block on the lowest setting on the back of your hips in the flat part of your sacrum. So it should feel like there's this sort of hard, flat platform in the back of your pelvis. That's where you want the block to go. And you're just going to rest here. And it's really lovely and decompressing for the spine. If you want something a little stronger, you can add a little bit more height to the block. Maybe go to the full height of the block, so the block is at its highest level, and then you just balance it on the back of your sacrum, just opening up through the front of the hips, and you're just letting yourself release into the block. So stay here if this is a good option for you. There's a couple of other options that you might want to go through. So you can take the block away, but keep the height of your bridge. Walk your feet a little closer, and then walk your shoulders underneath you, and see if you can grab onto your ankles. Once you have your ankles, you're lifting toward the ceiling, so press the feet and the shoulders down, but lift up through your front body. Final option, which I'm not sure if I'm ready to do today, but I'll try and demonstrate for you anyway, and come into your full bridge. So you're going to take the hands either side of your ears, and then you're going to come up onto your toes, lifting your heels. Lift yourself so that the crown of your head is on the floor, and then you're going to lift yourself up into full bridge. If that feels okay, bring the heels down, and you're just lifting up here. I can't stay here for too long, because I haven't been working on my back bends very much. And then when you're ready, you're just going to come out of it. If you were in your full bridge, just come back to a milder version of the back bend, just to let your back settle, so maybe on a low version of a block, and that's just a nice sort of neutralizer. If you're still on a block, stay there for a couple more breaths. And then gently take the block out. Bring the knees in to the chest. Make some space through your lower back. Coming into happy baby, reaching up to the outer edges of the feet. The knees sink down into the armpits, rocking side to side. Stay here, or if it's in your practice, you can come to shoulder stand. So don't do this if you have any neck or shoulder issues, but otherwise you're just lifting your hips up so that your toes go toward the ceiling, and try to get a nice straight line, or as much as possible from shoulders to feet. So you're pulling up through your body. So nice and active here. Try to reach the ceiling with the toes, so you're not just putting all of the weight into your shoulders. If you're in shoulder stand, come into your halasana, your plow. So feet come behind your head, release the hands down. You can always bend the knees by the ears. I'm not flexible enough for that today. It's funny how the body changes so much day to day. So some weeks I feel really bendy, but especially if I've been doing a lot of strength work, I feel a little stiffer, which I don't mind because there was a stage in my yoga career where I was super bendy and I was riddled with injuries. So I would much rather be a little stiffer, but really supportive. So just keep that in mind. You might see some really bendy people doing some crazy stuff, but that doesn't mean that that's right for your body. It certainly isn't right for mine. So if you're in plow, come back down slowly, gently. If you're in happy baby, start to come out of that as well. And then you're just going to walk your feet to the bottom corners of the mat. If you feel like you also need to just rock those knees side to side to find a little bit more opening through the spine and rotation, just give yourself a chance to rock side to side. But if you're ready for your Shavasana, then just feel free to lie down and close your eyes. And then we're all going to meet in Shavasana here, legs long. Just pick up the shoulders, roll them down your spine. The palms facing up. Pick up the head, lengthen through the back of the neck. Let yourself take up space on the mat. Take some deep breaths. Just let the practice absorb into your body. And please do stay here for as long as you feel that you need. I'm going to leave you here. So just stay lying down here. Your video will end and you can just come back up whenever you feel ready. But do take the time to let this practice settle in your body in your Shavasana here. Thank you so much for practicing with me, and I'll see you soon.